Hi my friends, welcome to our channel English Professionally, and this is a great course, especially for you. So 200 wrongly pronounced English words. So if you really want to improve your pronunciation and if you really want to speak English correctly and fluently, so this video course is for you. Okay, let's start with the first word. How will you pronounce it? So it isn't consider. Look, it's consider. Say, consider. Okay, good. Next, how will you say it? Women. So we say woman. If it's one, if it's more than one, we say women. Look, women. And here, so we have consider, not consider. Okay, the next word. It isn't Said, it's sad. It's sad. Good. Next. Restaurant. Look at how we pronounce it. So it isn't restaurant, it isn't restaurant. Restaurant. Okay, so the next word is rather difficult. So, and many people make mistakes here. Look, it isn't entrepreneur. It's or. Entrepreneur. It's like a businessman. Entrepreneur. Next, how will you pronounce this word? Look. Okay, it isn't advice, it's advise. It's a verb, z. We pronounce it as, z if it's between two vowels. Advise. So, how will you pronounce this word? So it isn't begin, it's begin, begin. It's a short sound, begin. I don't know why it's a simple word, but many people say it incorrectly. Begin, it isn't begin, begin. Look, it isn't theory, no. So it's theory, ear. Look, it's ear, theory, like ear. It's theory. So the next word. So it isn't mortgage, it isn't mortgage. So, or mortgage. It's a long sound. Mortgage. So the next word may be surprising. So it's the usual way of pronouncing this word, mortgage. Look. So I often hear situation, but if we look at the pronunciation, the correct pronunciation, it's the sound sh. So situation. So you need to say situation. Okay, well done. Okay, let's revise it shortly. So you have consider, women, sad, restaurant, entrepreneur, advise, begin, theory, mortgage, situation. Okay, next. It isn't lettuce, no, it's lettuce. So look at how we pronounce it. Is the sound E, lettuce. Okay, let's look at the next word. It isn't course, no, it isn't course, no, it's course, or. It's a long sound, or, course. I often hear, it when students say course, it isn't course, it's course, and it's a long sound, course. So please look at the next word. It isn't forget. It isn't forget. So look at how we say. It's the sound forget, forget. It isn't forget. It's forget, forget. Okay. So what about number 14? It isn't pause. It isn't pause or pause. It's pause, pause. It's a long sound, or. So we say pause, right, pause. Okay, my friends, let's look at the next word. So you see, it isn't pollution, no, my friend. It isn't or, it's again, pollution, pollution. It's a weak sound of pollution, pollution, not poor. It's like here, forget. It's a very common mistake. Please, my friend, avoid making this mistake. So the next word, it isn't variety, no, it is variety, it's variety, variety. So it's when we have a very big choice, variety. Next, it isn't medium, no, it's medium, 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 you see. So let's look at the next word. So it isn't interesting and it isn't interesting. So the first mistake is that people often say it with g, no, interesting. And the second mistake, so it's more common, it's in the middle. So look, it isn't interesting, it's interesting. Interesting. It's a very important thing. Look, it isn't angel or angel, no, it's angel, angel. Okay. So next, it isn't knife or knife, it's knife, knife. So we don't pronounce K. So we don't pronounce K if there is this letter N after it. So knife, knife, like no, okay? So you see, lettuce, course, forget, pause, pollution, variety, medium, interesting, angel, knife. Okay, very good. So next. So it isn't though, it isn't though, it's though, the. It is though, is the. It's though. Okay? It isn't obesity, it isn't obesity, it's obesity. It's when a person is very fat, obesity. And this thing is also very important. Okay, the next word. So we have a problem here. So you see, it isn't remember, no, it's remember. Do you remember it? Yes, I remember. It isn't chore or chore, no, it's choir. It isn't cog or co, it's cough. It's like a sound or. It's a short sound or cough. Look at this word. It isn't suppose or suppose, no, it's suppose. It's like forget. It's like here. It's like forget. It's like pollution, pollution. And you see, so it's suppose. Okay? So look at this word. It isn't minute, not minute. It's minute. Look, it's here. It's the second sound E, minute, minute. Good. It isn't bomb, not bomb, not bomb. It's bomb, bomb. It's a short sound O, bomb. So without it, we don't pronounce B. So next word, it isn't anxiety or it isn't anxiety. No, it's anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. When a person is really worried about something, anxiety, the anxiety, the anxiety. So it isn't so mishap. No, it isn't mishap or mishap. No, it's mishap. Look, mishap, miss and hap. It's mishap. Okay, you see. So though, obesity, remember, choir, cough, suppose, minute, boom, anxiety, mishap. Next, so it isn't git, no. Okay, good. So it isn't git, it's guide, guide. Okay, let's look at the next word. It isn't hotel. So you know that we hear, the incorrect pronunciation of this word even in songs. But it isn't hotel, it's hotel. So the stress is on the second syllable, hotel. It isn't him, no, it's him. Look at this word. It isn't urban or urban, it's urban, urban, and urban, urban. So you see it's like urb, and urban, urban. Okay, it isn't police or it isn't police, it's police. It's the sound police. Look at this word. It isn't comparison, no, it isn't comparison. Look at this sound. It's comparison, comparison, comparison. So it isn't coffee or coffee, it's coffee, 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 coffee. It isn't shim, no, it isn't shim, it's scheme, scheme, scheme. Okay? It isn't subtle, no, we don't pronounce it. It's subtle, subtle. It isn't hair or higher, no, it's air, air, air. Okay, so we have guide, hotel, so him, urban, police, comparison, coffee, scheme, subtle, air. Next, so it isn't chocolate, no. Look, it's chocolate, chocolate. So it's like chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Look, chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Okay? Look, it isn't vegetable, no. Look at this, it's vegetable, vegetable. So we say j and t, vegetable, vegetable. Okay? Look at this word. It isn't lamb or it isn't lamb, no. We don't pronounce B, so it's lamb, lamb. Next, you see. So, it depends, really, it depends. So it can be British pronunciation or American pronunciation. So it's possible to say schedule, like here. And it's also possible to say schedule. Sometimes it depends really, on British, on American pronunciation. And if you really want to say something concerning it, please write about it in the comments. it's really interesting to hear from you and to know really what you know about all this. So maybe you have another variant or another version, so why not? So, but if you look at these words, so schedule or schedule, it's also possible, so it depends. So don't be surprised if you hear the second version. Okay, next, so schedule or schedule, this sound is sh. Look, it isn't cucumber, no, it's cucumber. Look at this word. It isn't euro or euro, no, it's, look, euro. It's the sound euro. It isn't euro or euro, no, euro. Look at this word. It isn't concern or it isn't concern, no, concern. It isn't blood or blood, no, it's blood. Look, so it isn't complain or complain, it's complain. Look at this word. Many students say, or many people say, development, but it isn't development, it's development. It's like develop. So development, okay? So you see chocolate, vegetable, lamb, schedule or schedule, cucumber, euro, concern, blood, complain, development. So let's look at the next word. Okay, so it isn't comfortable or it isn't comfortable, no, it's comfortable, right? So you see it's comfortable. So it isn't complete and it isn't complete, it's complete. Look, complete. So it isn't breath, it's breathe, because it's a verb. Yeah, because it's a verb. So breathe, the. So if it's without it, so it's breath. If it's with e, so it's breathe. Look, it isn't photography or photography. It's, look, photography. Photography. It isn't continue. Look, it's continue. Continue. It isn't successful or it isn't successful. No, it isn't successful. It isn't are. It's again. So it's successful. So it isn't draugt or drogt. It's draft. It isn't sing. No, it isn't sing. It's sin. So we don't pronounce it sin. It isn't colleague or it isn't colic. It's colic. So the stress is on the first syllable and we have the sound e, so a long e. So colic, it's incorrect. So colic, only this. So I don't know why, but we often hear colic, no, colic, only this way, colic. Look, so it isn't produce, it's, look, produce. Really, it's a very common mistake, and I don't know why, but almost no one knows about this rule that we need to say complete, continue, successful, produce. Almost no one knows about these very important rules, and so personally I hear these mistakes again and again. Okay, let's say it one more time. So comfortable, complete, breathe, photography, continue, successful, draft, sin, colic, produce. Next, so it isn't rhino, it's rhino, rhino. It isn't tomb, it isn't tomb, it's tomb, tomb. So we don't pronounce B, and it's a long sound U, tomb. No, look. It isn't identity, no. It's identity, identity. It isn't very, very, or very, it isn't very, it's very, air, 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 very, very, okay? It isn't thumb, or it isn't thumb, it's thumb, thumb. So we don't pronounce B, thumb, okay? Good. Okay, I think that we have already met this word, right? So lettuce. So just I'm going to replace it. Just wait a bit, thanks. So look at this word. So it isn't introduce. It isn't introduce. It's the sound a. It's introduce. Look, it isn't cafe or cafe. It's cafe, cafe, ca and a, cafe. It's like a, cafe. It isn't believe, it isn't believe. It's the sound e, believe, believe. It isn't sour or sour, it's sour, 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 sour. It isn't castle, no, we don't pronounce it, it's castle, okay? So you see rhino, tomb, identity, very, thumb, introduce, cafe, believe, sour, castle. Good. So what's next? So it isn't niche or nick, it's niche, niche. It's long sound and sh, niche. So we normally say this word as often, often. So without t. So we normally say it so often, often. Look, it isn't isle, no. Isle, isle. It isn't foreign, foreign or foreign. It's foreign. It's e, e, foreign, foreign. Like here, foreign. It isn't consist or it isn't consist, it's ca. Consist, consist. Look at this word. So it isn't debt, it's that, that. It isn't affect or it isn't effect, it's effect, effect. The stress is on the second syllable, okay? It isn't hierarchy, hierarchy, no, this isn't hierarchy, it's, look, hierarchy, 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 hierarchy. So you see that the main stress is on the first syllable, hierarchy, 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 but it so isn't hierarchy, no, hierarchy, hierarchy. It isn't percent. I don't know why, but so many students say percent, not. It isn't percent, percent, it's percent, 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 not percent, not percent, percent. Okay, let's look at this word. It isn't so desert or desert, it's dessert, something tasty, yeah, is dessert. So you see it's double S, dessert. Okay, so niche, often, isle, foreign, consist, that, effect, hierarchy, hierarchy, percent, dessert. Okay, next. So I think that we already matched this word, so just wait a bit and I'll change it. So you see, it isn't surround, it isn't I, it's sa. Look, it's sa. Surround, surround. Okay? So it isn't genuine. No, it's, look, genuine, genuine, genuine. It isn't regime or regime, it's regime, regime. Like A and regime, regime, regime. How will you pronounce this word? It isn't company, not company. It's company. So the sound is company. So it isn't support or it isn't support. It's this sound, support. Like here, surround, support, suppose. It isn't neutral or neutral, no. It's neutral, neutral. It isn't opinion, it isn't or, it isn't or. No, my friend, no, it's opinion, opinion. It isn't era or era, no, it's era, era, era. So you see ear, era. Look at this word. It isn't Iceland, no, it isn't Iceland, it's island. We don't pronounce it's island. Okay, good. So it isn't rim or rhyme, it's rhyme, rhyme. So we don't pronounce H, rhyme. Okay, so surround, genuine, regime, company, support, neutral, opinion, opinion, era, island, rhyme. So opinion, it's a very common mistake, opinion. Next, so it isn't bury or bury, so it's bury, bury. Okay, so you see it's also a very important thing. Okay, let's go on. So it isn't bury, it isn't bury, it's bury. Okay? It isn't behave or behave, it's be, it's behave. It isn't climb, it's climb. So we don't pronounce be, it's climb. Okay, how will you pronounce this word? It isn't vehicle or vehicle, no, it's vehicle, vehicle. So we don't pronounce H. Vehicle, 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 vehicle. Look, it isn't museum, no, museum. So you see that the stress is on the second syllable, museum, museum. It isn't walk, not, it isn't walk, it's a long sound or without L, walk, walk. It isn't muscle, no, it isn't muscle, no, it's muscle. We don't pronounce C, muscle. It isn't half, not half, it's half, R. It's long sound R, it's half. It isn't genre or genre, it's genre, 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 genre. So J and O, genre, 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 genre. It isn't singer, yeah, we normally pronounce it another way. So sinner, 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 sinner. Right. Okay, so bury, behave, climb, vehicle, museum, walk, muscle, half, genre, sinner. Okay, so next. So it isn't knight, it's night, like knife, yeah? You know that if we have this combination K and N, so it's like night, knife. It isn't emphasis, emphasis, or emphasis. It's emphasis, emphasis. It's like emphasis, not emphasis, emphasis, emphasis. It isn't honesty, it's honesty, so we don't pronounce H here. Honesty. It isn't occur or occur, it's occur. It's occur. It's like a and cur, occur. So I often hear gift, but if we check the pronunciation of this word, we will see gift, gift. Okay. So it isn't video, it isn't video or video, it's video, 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 video. But it isn't, many students say, video, 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 video. It isn't close, it isn't close, no, it's z, close, close, o, close, and z, close. So it isn't particularly, lally, it's lally, and this sound a, particularly, not a, particularly, particularly. It isn't squirrel, it's squirrel, squirrel. It isn't globalization, no, it isn't globalization, it's globalization, o, and the most important thing is here, I, globalization, not globalization, not globalization, globalization. So night, emphasis, honesty, occur, gift, video, close, particularly, squirrel, globalization. So it isn't decide, it's decide. It isn't honest, it's honest. It isn't pronunciation, it's the sound pronunciation, pronunciation. It isn't iron, no, it's iron, iron, iron. So we don't hear r, no, iron. It isn't virus, virus or virus, no, it's virus, virus. It isn't answer, answer, no, we don't pronounce it, answer, answer. So it isn't chose, chose or choose, it choose, choose, it's long sound, choose. It isn't Wednesday, Wednesday, no, we don't pronounce it, so Wednesday, Wednesday. It isn't news, news, it isn't news, right, it's news, news. Students often say, news, 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 close, close, no, close, news. So it isn't recept or receipt, no. So it's a receipt, receipt, okay, very good. So decide, honest, pronunciation, iron, virus, answer, choose, Wednesday, news, receipt. Okay, next. It isn't menu. No, it isn't menu. It isn't menu. It's menu. Menu. It isn't Frau or Frau. It's Fru. Fru. It isn't altar. Altar. It's altar. Altar. The sound O, altar. Okay. It isn't information, information, or it isn't information. Look at the sound, it's a again. So it's information. It's information, my friends, information. So man, man. So you need to open your mouth very widely. Man, man. Look, it isn't que, it's q, q, q. Okay, very good. So we see this word for the second time, so let's change it. Wait a bit. Okay, it isn't receive, no, it's receive. Okay, so the next word is really very, very difficult. It isn't archive. It isn't archive. It isn't archive. It's archive. 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 So really it's very surprising. So archive. Archive. So not archive. Archive. It isn't data. No. It isn't data. No. It's data. Data. Okay? So it isn't provide. It's the sound a. Provide. Provide. Okay? So you see menu, through, alter, information, man, queue, receive, archive, data, provide. So you see, so it isn't tomato, tomato, or tomato, it's tomato, 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 tomato. So it isn't guitar, it's guitar, guitar. So the stress is on the second syllable, guitar. It isn't isle or isle, it's isle, isle. Okay, so it isn't effective, it's effective, effective. It isn't fruit, no, it isn't fruit, it isn't fruit, it's fruit, fruit, its own sound, fruit. It isn't authority, authority, it's or, authority. It isn't become, no, it's become, it's like begin, become, okay? It isn't, so expect, it's expect. It isn't etc., or etc., it's etc., etc. So the stress is on this syllable, etc., not etc., no. It isn't this, no, it's these. It's long sound and the sound is z, these, okay? So, tomato, guitar, aisle, effective, fruit, authority, become, expect, etc. These. So it isn't cathedral, no. It isn't cathedral, no. It isn't cathedral. It's ca as the first thing, and cathedral. It's cathedral, cathedral. So it isn't, so success. So we talked about it. So we don't say successful. It's a. So success, successful. It isn't doubt. No, we say doubt, doubt. It isn't year, year, year. So normally we see these kind of pronunciations. So year, not year, not year, like ear, y and ear, year. It isn't global, no, it's O, global. It isn't occasionally, or no, it isn't occasional, it's a. It's like opinion, I hope you remember it. So occasionally. So the sound a and a, occasionally. It isn't gorilla, no, guerrilla. It isn't suit, no, it isn't seat, it's sweet. So it isn't says, no, says. It's like say, but he, she, it says, but not. Says. So he says, he says. It's a very common mistake. And it isn't deposit or deposit deposit, it's deposit. Okay, deposit. So the stress is on this syllable. So you see cathedral, success, doubt, year, global, occasionally, gorilla, sweet, says, deposit. Okay, next. So it isn't psychology, it isn't psychology, no. We don't pronounce P. So psychology, we don't pronounce P. Psychology. So it isn't breakfast, or it isn't breakfast, it's breakfast, breakfast. So it isn't VIP, it's VIP, VIP. For example, he's a VIP person, VIP. We pronounce it like 3 separate letters, VIP, VIP. Okay, so it isn't occasion, or it isn't occasion, or it isn't occasion, it's occasion. So it isn't chaos or house or cows, it's chaos. It isn't develop, it's develop, develop. We talked about it like development. It isn't talk, or it isn't talk, no, to talk, or it's a long sound or without L, talk. It isn't one, it's one. It isn't dove, or dove, it's dove. It's, think, not think, think. Okay, so you see psychology, breakfast, VIP, occasion, chaos, develop, talk, one. So dove, think. So it isn't surprised, or it isn't surprised. So it's surprised. Okay? So it isn't report or report, it's report. It isn't surface, or surface, it's surface. So sun and face, not face, surface. Good. So it isn't jewelry or jewelry. No, it's jewelry. Jewelry. So jewelry. Okay, you see that we pronounce it as breath. So if we have E in the end, so it's breathe. If it's without E, so it's breath. So let's look at the next word. So it isn't comment. No, it's comment. Good. Very good. So the next word, it isn't so jury or jury. It's jury. Jury. It isn't front. So we say not in front of, but in front of. It's like but, in front of. It isn't photographer, it's photographer. It's like photography, photography. So it isn't sour or sour, it's sour. But I think they talked about it, so let's replace it. So we have this word, so it isn't honor, it's honor. It's like honesty, so we don't pronounce H. It's like hour, not hour. Okay, so surprised, report, surface, jewelry. So breath, not breathe. So comment, right? Jury, front, photographer, honor. Okay, so next. So it isn't delete, it's delete. Delete. It isn't hate or aid, it's height. It isn't towards, it's towards. The stress is on the second syllable. So it isn't pronounce or it isn't pronounce, it's pronounce. It isn't desire or desire, it's desire. Desire. So it isn't So pizza, pizza, or pizza, it's pizza, 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 like pizza, pizza, pizza. It isn't compare, compare, no, compare, compare. It isn't reduce or reduce, it's reduce, reduce. It isn't because, not because, not because. It's because, it's because. It isn't society or society, no, it's society, society, society. Okay, so you see delete, hide, towards, pronounce, desire, pizza, compare, reduce, reduce because, society. So it isn't tonight, it's tonight. It's like here, it isn't computer. So students always say computer, computer. It isn't core, it's computer, computer, okay? And it isn't so dessert. So it's another, there is another spelling here. It's one S. So it's desert. It's desert. Have you ever been to a desert? Desert. So it isn't so ancient or ancient. It's ancient. 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 So it isn't comb or comb. It's comb. O. And without B. Don't pronounce B. Comb. Comb. It isn't plumber. No. Plumber. It's plumber. It's plumber without the plumber. It isn't column. Not column. Not column. No. No. We don't pronounce N and M. Column. Like here. Column. Look. Column. It isn't thing. Not thing. Not sink. Thing. And we don't pronounce, G at the end of the word. So thin. Thin. It isn't stomach or stomach. It's like butt. Stomach. Stomach. So it isn't rhyme. So it isn't rhythm. It's rhythm. 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 The rhythm. Rhythm. Okay? So you see tonight, computer, desert, ancient, comb, plumber, column, thin, stomach, rhythm. Yeah, and last but not least, so it isn't suggest and it isn't suggest, it's suggest, like suggestion, suggest, suggest. It isn't item. It isn't contain, it's contain, contain. Good. So it isn't bullet or bully, it's bullet. It isn't gorgeous, no, gorgeous. It isn't coupon, not coupon, not coupon, it's coupon. O, we have long sound O and on, coupon. So it's man, it isn't man, because if it's man, it's one man. If it's more than one, so man. So you don't need to open your mouth widely. Man. So beer, it isn't bear, yeah. So bear, and it isn't handkerchief. It isn't handkerchief. No, we don't pronounce D. So handkerchief, and it isn't elite, and it isn't elite. It's elite. And the stress is on the second syllable. It's also very important, my friend, really. So, elite. Okay, my friends, thank you very much for coming. Yeah, thanks a lot for your attention, really. I try to do my best to collect all this information. So, really, I met some information occasionally, but in parts. But I decided to create my own list, a complete list of wrongly pronounced English words, so that you can speak English absolutely correctly, fluently, without mistakes, and so not making these mistakes. Okay, my friends, thanks a lot for your support, and I'd like to thank you for everything. So I really appreciate it. So we can support this video with your likes and shares. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. So really, I have a feeling of deep gratitude. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.